Hello and welcome to another episode of All Things Money. I'm your host Fatima, and my guest today is a bit different from our usual ones. We have on our set today content creator, extraordinaire, and entrepreneur Irfan Junejo. Hi Irfan, how are you?
So I'm good. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really looking forward to learning something about finance as well.
I think the whole purpose of my podcast is to learn from you. From somebody who has like 1.5 million followers on YouTube, I think you're one of the biggest internet personalities and you've become an entrepreneur now. So I think there's a lot that our audience would like to learn from you.
Aspiring,
Aspiring.
aspiring
Fair enough.
entrepreneur.
If I understand correctly, the hoodie you're wearing has Loop on it and that's your coffee brand.
Yeah, I'm about to start a coffee brand, multiple outlets, hopefully, inshallah. So this is from the first batch of hoodies that we made for the staff. It also has staff written on the bags. So that I think is something that I've been working on for the past 6, 7 months. And that is why I have not been very consistent with the content that I've been making.
So when can we look forward to your coffee? Irfan Junejo
Month,
coffee.
this month.
This one?
Yeah.
It will be all across Karachi?
We'll start from 2 outlets, one in Bukhari, one in Phase 8. And then we'll expand, inshallah, very rapidly. Pipu Sultan, North Nazabad, very soon.
Wow. So from YouTuber
Yeah.
to entrepreneur. So let's start with your YouTube journey, your first video. What were you doing before you became a content creator?
So I used to design apps. Only the user interface, I don't really know how to code at all. So I used to design apps, freelance projects here and there. And I used to run a football academy because I was into football since I was 10, 12. So I used to play for a football club, but they didn't really have any academy. So we used to rely on other clubs and sign their players. So I came up with this idea since I graduated in 2012. I started the academy in 2013, and that's what I was doing. And I was also running the club's Facebook page. Since I was into photography, I was into a little bit of videography, editing. That's why I was handling their content as well.
What gave you the idea? Okay, today I'm just going to make a video about myself and not football.
So that is a very long story. I used to make Snapchat stories. Snapchat had just launched this feature, and I fell in love with it. It felt very authentic. You don't have to pretend to be anybody. You don't have to only show the highlights of your life. You could just document your day. And then in October 2016, YouTube launched their partner program. YouTube got unbanned in Pakistan again in 2016. So that gave me the idea that now you can actually make some money from YouTube. So whatever I'm doing with Snapchat, if I just polish it a little bit, make it more cinematic and publish it on YouTube, maybe I know I'll be having a lot of fun, but maybe along the way I can make some money as well. That was the idea.
So I have met a lot of Gen Z and you're millennial is all the more inspirational for me because for me, content creation is completely alien. I have had my head of desk, Neha Dagyal, come after me, can make reels. But even though I am on camera, actually looking at the camera terrifies me. So the fact that you're a millennial and not a Gen Z and you're in on the camera and 1.5 million followers, for me, it's huge. So, but at that time when you were starting off, it wasn't that big a feel. I mean, it was there, but I think right now when I see kids, they're like, we can just make money by video logging, blogging, whatever. But I want to know, is there actually money in it? How much would a video make?
So there are different ways to monetize it. Now I think there are many more ways to monetize it compared to when I started. When I started in 2017, you could only get money from AdSense, YouTube. And then maybe if a brand gets in touch with you, sponsors the video, that's it. Now there are affiliate marketing links. There are fair digital goods that you can sell, physical goods, merchandise, and then you can, if a brand cannot afford you, you can buy equity. You can get equity in exchange for promoting them, and then you can start your own coffee company also.
So,
So
do you have equity of any brand?
I don't really have equity at the moment, other than this coffee brand, but I've been offered equity multiple times. But I think it's a very huge responsibility, and I was not really ready for that.
What do you actually mean equity? So, like, I have, say, a cosmetics company, and you decide to turn to promote cosmetics. Not that you would or could, but
Yeah.
assuming it.
That's not a very good example. Let's say you have
Fashion
yeah
hoodies.
yeah
Like,
you have a hoodie company. You make hoodies, and you get in touch with me. You ask me to promote it. But if you don't, even if you have the budget for it, I really like your hoodies, and I think this could be a long term thing. And I can propose, or you can propose maybe, that instead of charging me X amount of money, you can get 10% of the equity in the company. So then I have a stake in the company, and then I work extra hard and find out many more opportunities. Because uh, if you pay me and I do a sponsored video, that's a transactional relationship, one time thing, and it's done. You can take that video, you can boost it. But as far as my platform is concerned, that is done. But if I have equity, I'm wearing it in TV shows, I'm wearing it in any opportunity that I can get. So I think that's a very long term sustainable way of partnerships. But very few creators have started doing it, not many.
so equity is one form of one source of revenue from being a content creator.
Yeah.
Another is affiliate marketing. So is that something that you do?
I've not done it a lot, only a few times when there's been a software company involved or a music company involved. Only then have I done it. But I think in other industries, it becomes sort of exploitative, especially if they're not offering any money upfront. Like they get in touch with me, they ask me to make a video, promote it, publish it on all my platforms. And then if any customer comes in and pays them, then only will I get paid. I think that's exploitative because I'm working, my platform is being used, and I'm not getting paid at all. So I think that's why I avoid affiliate marketing.
And then there are sponsorships and brand deals.
Yeah.
That would be a third source of
Yeah.
revenue. So what is your take on that?
So most of my income, my I think throughout my career, it was not an intentional choice, but most of my income has always come from brands, YouTube revenue. I think the way my audience is, or the way my uploading schedule has been, I have not been very consistent. I can't be, because it takes me much longer to produce a video than most of the other YouTubers. So I have to rely on brands. So there are brands, there are agencies, marketing, PR agencies, they get in touch with me or my manager, and they give us a brief. And we suggest ideas for that brief. If any idea is approved, then we get paid and we make the video.
So from your content creation business, most of your revenue comes from sponsorship deals
Yeah. Yeah.
versus monetizing of YouTube. It's my understanding that if your audience is Pakistani, you earn less. If your audience is foreign, you earn more.
Yeah. So the amount of money you will make on a YouTube video mostly depends on how long the video is. So they can be, if you make a 5-minute video, they can only be one ad break in the beginning. But if that video is 45 minutes long, there can be 5, 6 ads in the middle. And then where the audience is watching that video from. So if you have most of your audience from US, UK, Australia, Europe, you will be making much more money compared to if your audience is from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, because the ad rates in those countries are much higher.
So, for example, there's a video that has like 200,000 views. What would be a rough monetization if it's local viewership?
For a million views, if the video is around 10, 12 minutes long, for my audience base, which is mostly in Pakistan, I think 70, 80% of my audience is Pakistani. For a million views, I would roughly make $300 to $400 for a 10, 12 minute video. If the video was 30, 40 minutes long, then I'd make probably $600, $700, but not more than that.
So, you need a lot of videos
Yeah.
of longer duration with a very large audience for it to be monetized to the level that it can be a sustainable career.
Yeah. Because that is the problem that most of the creators are now facing on YouTube. Because YouTube has unintentionally now started rewarding creators who can upload daily.
Mm.
So that, first of all, leads to burnout a lot, that leads to exhaustion, that, and also you cannot really sustain that quality.
Then, how do people think that just by being a YouTube content creator or being on Insta, they can make money? Like, is that just a myth that people
Yeah.
have?
So in Pakistan, the YouTube trend, unfortunately, is, I think, going down.
Mhm.
And the young kids now are mostly interested in TikTok and Instagram.
How do you monetize TikTok and
You
Instagram?
can't. There's no way you can monetize TikTok at least in Pakistan. The only way you can make money from it is by growing an audience, creating a community, and then brands reaching out to you and sponsorships, brand deals. That's the only way.
In that, I think that the room for exploitation for content creators is a lot because say you have a brand deal from a very big name
Yeah.
and they don't like your content. You've done your best, you've pushed it, and it's like we're not going to pay you. What can the content creator do?
Yeah. So
They can't trash it. If they trash it, then they won't get other sponsors.
if you have 10, 20,000 followers, then you might get exploited, and it does happen. They tell you that we'll pay you when our payment cycle completes in 90 days, whereas I get paid even before the video is published. So these are the things that every creator has to go through, I think. And now I've made it a policy that when I started, they didn't really used to value my ideas. They would just tell me, here's the script, this is how you have to say it. Say it on the camera, give us the video, and we'll pay you. But slowly, when I had proof of concept, when I made videos my own way and they did really well, so people started noticing, brands started noticing, and they then started telling me, here's the brief, make it your way. You suggest ideas to us because you know your audience the best. So then now an agency reaches out to me, shares the brief. I suggest ideas. If any of the idea gets approved, then they pay me 50% advance and I start making the video. When the video is completed and approved but not published, then they pay me the rest of the money and then we publish the video.
But you can do a million plus followers. You have that clout.
Yeah.
If somebody has 50,000 followers, they just have to dot the T, cross the T's and dot the I's, right?
Yeah, but there's always I wouldn't suggest that you do it with every brand, but if you have lost patience and you're frustrated, you can always just put up a story that this is the brand, this is the agency, do not work with them, they are very unprofessional, they won't pay you on time. So there's always
There's
that
always that.
or you can use it as a threat, not post any story, but tell Devi in post a story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if a content creator is doing most, so every time there's a sponsorship or a brand deal, they make money.
Yeah.
But then they also have to have a content that is non-sponsorship, non-brand deals to keep this community engaged.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unpaid work that is non-monetized
Yeah.
that goes into it as well.
Yeah. So my audience is not really happy, has not been really happy with me because I've been doing a lot of sponsored videos. I think most of my videos are now sponsored. And मुझे पता है गलत है ये. But as far as I'm concerned, I work extra hard
Mm-hmm.
on the sponsored videos, even more than the non-sponsored ones because I'm getting paid. I have extra money now to invest in that video. I can hire better lights, better crew, better production, take longer in edit because I'm getting paid and the audience knows that we are being shown an ad. So I have to make that as interesting as possible. Now, most of the creators in Pakistan do it the exact opposite way. Since we are getting paid, we'll do whatever the brand is asking us to do. With no creativity, no extra effort. Just say these lines, talk into the camera, and you can tell by their expressions that they don't mean what they say. So that is a challenge. But you have to keep a balance. I think if you're doing 3, 4 sponsorships and 5, 6 non-branded videos, I think that's a good balance
In what time frame?
in a month.
In a month. So when you first started off, how much did you invest? Like, did you buy new cameras? Did you buy equipment, editing software?
So I already had a camera because I used to make videos for my football club and I was also into wedding photography. So I had one camera, 2 lenses, but I didn't really have audio equipment. So I invested a little bit of money in a decent mic and I had my phone and I had a laptop already. So that's all that I needed to start. Then I upgraded my camera, I think in the second or third month of making content.
In your second or third month of making content, what kind of traction you'd already seen that you felt that, okay, now is the time to invest?
I mean, nothing too. significant. I had 1,000 or 1,500 subscribers.
That's still more than what I have on my Insta
Yeah.
account.
But I was having so much fun that it just felt like this would enable me to make better videos, to actually make my life much easier. It has better autofocus, it has better audio options. So it'll just make the whole experience much nicer. I was having in the first month of my YouTube career, I made $6. But I was having so much fun that the money stopped. I stopped caring about money initially.
Do you think that makes your videos more powerful because you
I I
actually like
I
it?
think that is the edge that I have. Most of the people that start can't really sustain for that long if they're
Mhm.
doing it only for money.
Mhm.
Because if the money stops coming in for any reason, then your motivation goes away. But I enjoy the process. I try to enjoy the process.
There are different audiences, right? My audience is all technical, business, finance stuff. What kind of audience, what kind of content does your audience enjoy? And what kind of content has the most scope?
For my audience or in general?
General.
In general, in our society, I think anything that people find relatable or aspirational. Like if you unbox a very expensive gold-plated phone and you write 20 lakh ka phone in the title, I think it's going to get a lot of views. Or if it's something very relatable, like there's this new creator, Marzi Razaki. He just made, yeah, yeah. So
So funny.
he got a million followers in a month, I think on Facebook or TikTok. I'm not sure which platform, but anything that people find relatable.
I find it very
Yeah.
relatable. That
As
is
far
true.
as my audience is concerned, I have spent a lot of time, and now my audience is conditioned that anything, any topic, whether it's stories of Karachi or stories of food or stories of me going to Istanbul or football stories, if the story is good, if it's engaging, they'll watch it because they are there for the story, not any particular topic.
So you have a very engaged community. It's not something that you viral for one thing and now you're continuing to do something that is silly or that catches attention. It's just your life, you're living it, and you're sharing it with the people who to build a community of 1.5 million is still like there are 1.5 million people who are interested in how you're living your life. Doesn't that, I mean, how does that even feel?
So it used to feel very, uh, I mean, I used to face a lot of problems, mental health problems, because you are now forced to share your life. So I did that until I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Then I stopped sharing my life, or I became very selective of what part of my life do I share. And then all of my content became about food stories, the stories of my city, the stories of my favorite football club, the stories of my travel. I'm still comfortable sharing my travel experiences, but what I do, my day-to-day life, how I am with my family, with my friends, that I intentionally choose not to share because people have a lot to say about that. Bura insan, bura Pakistani, bura Mussalman. I don't.
No, the range of comments that I get on my videos sometimes like really everybody has a problem with something. You said that you're very selective with what you share. Are you selective with what you promote?
Yeah, so I am very comfortable promoting anything that I am currently using or I'd be comfortable using. There are a lot of phone brands that I've promoted, endorsed after testing them. Even if I'm not using them on a day-to-day basis, I've tested their claims, I'm comfortable with that, and I then endorse it. Similarly, if there are brands that I would never consume, I don't endorse them. Nicotine pouches, in I think I've been making content since 2017, January 2017. I have never endorsed a conventional bank. Anything related to interest, I don't endorse.
Fair enough, but see, influencers, content creators have this credibility. They know that if an actor is coming and promoting a fairness scheme, doesn't mean that actress is actually using it. With content creators, it's a lot like you're probably using it, hence you're endorsing it. But then again, so much of the money comes from sponsorship deals that sometimes I feel that maybe the content creators do not. They have this brand image
Hmm.
of integrity, but they still need to promote a certain product. So, I mean, how does one manage these two opposite views, have integrity, promote a product, a lot of products.
Mm.
Now, how do they make money otherwise?
You just have to say no. I mean, there's no easy answer for this. If you know that you wouldn't recommend this product to your friends, then you'll have to say no to the money that's coming in. And I've been in these positions many times, and you have to say no to the money. And there's a lot of money. Many times, the brands that don't have a decent product usually are the ones with the highest marketing budgets, but
Yes,
they
for
have to
sure.
say no. Yeah.
But do you feel that you can do that because 1.5 million followers and somebody who's starting off at 10,000 might go like, I need the money right now. So maybe later on I can have the luxury of ethics. Right now I'll just sell the product whether I've tested it or not.
I mean, it's different for everyone. I was very lucky that the products and brands that contacted me early on in my career were all MNCs, well-reputed brands. I was comfortable endorsing them.
So if somebody is starting off, somebody has 10,000 followers, what would be the best way for that person to monetize its content? And what platform should that person start from?
So if you have 10,000 followers on Instagram, TikTok, and if brands have started contacting you, you can charge maybe at 10,000 followers, you can charge 25, 30,000 rupees per reel.
Mm-hmm.
But that changes a lot depending on the value that you're providing. If your production is very, very good, if your storytelling, how you plan your shots is exceptional, you can even charge 100,000, because the brand might not get enough reach, but they can take that marketing asset and boost it. So they'll get a marketing asset for 100,000 rupees that would have costed 4 lakh rupees if they had to produce it themselves. So it depends on your the amount of money that you can charge. Mainly depends on the number of followers, your perception. When a brand manager thinks about you, what image do you have in their minds? There are uh, family vloggers with more followers than Fawad Khan. But how can Fawad Khan charge what he charges? And then there's production quality also. If a brand reaches out to me that we are paying you for talent, your talent fee only, we'll hire a cinematographer, location, DOP, editor. It'll cost them at least 2 or 3 times uh, versus if they just pay me my regular fee and I make them the reel. And so that's why I'm able to charge what I charge, because I'm a one window solution working as a creator and as a production company.
So your strength is that you have very strong editing skills, and that's something because that's something you enjoy.
Editing, production, all of it.
A lot of content creators perhaps might feel that okay, we can look at the camera and we can talk to the camera,
Yeah.
but we don't really have the tech skills. So for them, should they invest in people who have the tech skills, or should they invest in themselves and learn those tech skills?
I think they can invest as far as shooting is concerned. They can invest in people, they can invest in equipment, they can rent equipment if need be. But as far as editing is concerned, I would suggest that they learn it themselves, because a lot of people don't really agree with me, but I like to romanticize the entire process. I think editing cannot be outsourced, because editing is just like writing. You have your own signature style. If somebody is editing for you, and for some reason, if you have to let go of that person, suddenly your entire persona, what you communicate, changes. You might not feel it, but the audience feels it. Yeah, achanak, how can so editing, I think you should learn yourself.
No, I absolutely am a writer. That's what I identify as. And when my words are changed, it's painful. It's absolutely painful. And when I change it, do it to others, I feel sorry that I'm, as an editor, I have to do it to others as well, right? And I always feel bad because I think there's so much of us that goes in our art if you're actually attached to it as not a revenue stream. So, fine, we've talked about editing and we've talked about content creation. Has there been a change? You've been doing this for like what 6, 7 years now?
8 years.
8 years now.
Yeah.
So a lot of things have changed. You've seen the pandemic, you've seen the macroeconomic crisis, you have seen a Pakistani Navy default, you have seen it back to stability. So have you seen a difference in the amount, say, MNCs are willing to invest in TV commercials versus social media commercials, for example?
I don't really, I haven't really thought about what has changed in these years, but one thing that I'd like to think, the YouTube consumption pattern has changed a lot.
Mm.
People from, uh, I think, very lower socioeconomic backgrounds have started consuming a lot of YouTube and TikTok. But I think Instagram is where most of the people are making money, creators are making money, because Instagram is for, I think, SEC B, SEC A. I think that's the perception, I think, at least. So the amount of money that I used to make from Instagram would be, I think, 6, 7 years ago, would be hardly 5, 6% of my entire income. Currently, it's 90%. So the consumption patterns have shifted completely. It's all short form. And it's not just with me. I have not been very consistent on YouTube, but it's with other creators also who are very consistent on YouTube. Still, all the queries they get are for Instagram and TikTok.
What does that say about our focus and the amount of time we can spend? Because you don't want to spend 30, 40 minutes on a video. You want to spend 90 seconds on a reel.
But I think it's if you get a reel made on Instagram, the Instagram targeting tools are much better than YouTube, because I can add brand as a collaborator. They can choose to boost it. They can choose to target a specific locality, age, that you can't do on a YouTube video. Because say I talked about your brand, I endorsed your brand, I attended your event, but still it is my video on my channel. You can't boost it. So I think that's what brands like now, control, and more control of the analytics.
So that's more like a company specific Meta versus YouTube. So,
Yeah.
and hence Insta Reels versus YouTube Shorts or TikTok
Mm.
Reels. Okay, so say we have different rankings of influencers. We have 10,000, we have 50,000, then we have mega influencers like you, 1.5 million.
Mm.
At different rankings, at different follower count, who should be charging what? Like, who should be charging more for what?
I think, how do I answer this? I think when you're starting, if you have 10, 20,000 followers, and if you're making good content consistently, brands should start reaching out to you. And if you have, let's say, 15,000, you should be charging more than somebody who has 10,000 and less than somebody who has 20,000. That's the basic. Then, if you see that the queries are not stopping at, they just keep coming in, you're charging much lower than the value you're providing. So you should increase your prices slightly. Then there's your perception, your production quality. If, like, I I have tripled my prices for a reel in the past 3 years.
Hmm.
And the strategy has always been the Uber pricing strategy. If the number of queries are not stopping, I keep increasing the prices. And the prices never come down. So, Alhamdulillah, queries are still coming in, and I keep increasing the prices. So that has worked for me. But if I think there are multiple ways you can price according to your followers. You can price according to the perception you have and the production quality you have, and that entirely depends on the number of queries. If you get 20 queries in a month, and if you're able to log 19, it means you can charge much higher. If 19 brand managers are saying, yes, this price looks okay to us, it means you're charging much lower. I think there's, it's not an exact
If not, that's
science.
exactly it's experience.
Yeah.
So when I look at the US and their influences, or even India and their influences, and then Pakistan, I feel that maybe our influencer scene, our content creation scene is not as a sector, as an industry as developed as other countries. Not that you have traveled. Is that something that you would like, that perhaps the same influencer in the US might be making more, or in India might be more versus in Pakistan?
I think it depends on the living cost as well. If I had 1.5 million followers in Dubai, I would be flying in a private jet most likely. But वहाँ की living cost भी उसी के हिसाब से है. But I think in Pakistan, uh, the amount of money that creators get, I don't think anybody should complain about the money they're getting, because there are other things that they can complain about, like payment policies. I worked with international brands. Their payment systems are automated. If they have said that you'll get your money by this date, it's automated, you'll get it.
Mm.
There's no human involved there. But in Pakistan, the check was the picture of the check was sent to you, but the CEO has just gone for Hajj और मसला हो गया, वो दुबई चले गए, ये देखें चेक रेडी है. तो ये I've seen a lot.
Oh, I'm not even a content creator, and I have faced so many challenges even working for Dawn. And I totally get that. So, what about competition? There are so many content creators. Does that happen that, oh, XYZ got the brand deal and I did not?
It used to bother me very early in my career, but now it doesn't, maybe because I have become wiser with age also. But I think what the value that I bring, the production quality, the visual storytelling that I bring, if a brand values it, I think they don't really have any other option. Instead, I mean, मेरे style में, I don't think there's anybody else in the market with the number of followers that I have who has a similar style.
Mhm.
But if I was really looking forward to a campaign and I don't get it, doesn't really bother me much. Alhamdulillah, the number of campaigns that I do in a month, it's not slowing down. The queries keep coming in, so I'm happy.
So, you have like one cross a million follower mark, and you can command your own rates now, and you said it's
Yeah.
gone up. Why did you feel the need to launch your own coffee brand?
Yeah. So I felt the need because it was a very exciting opportunity, a new challenge. Everything that I know about marketing, branding, advertising, I've applied only on me. It was a new challenge to apply it on a coffee brand
Why coffee?
because most of my friends that I've partnered with are in the food business,
Mm.
and we saw this opportunity that coffee prices are higher than tea because there are a lot of middlemen involved. Coffee itself is not very expensive. Because there are a lot of middlemen, that's why a nice coffee costs you some, I think, between 900, 800, 700.
Mhm.
So if we can deliver the same quality, I think in half the price, people might be tempted to buy it. And especially if the aesthetics are not compromised, it looks like a premium brand, it looks like a high street brand, but the prices are very economical. That's I think the crux of Loop Coffee.
But is there a story behind the name Loop?
Yeah, most of the coffee brands in Pakistan, I think 90% get their syrups from one company, get their beans from another company. Uh, we at Loop Coffee do not have any suppliers per se. We get the beans ourselves, we roast them ourselves, we make the syrup ourselves. That's why the loop is complete from the bean to cup. The entire loop is our own.
So, as a content creator, you have a very lean form of operations. It's practically a one-man team.
Yeah.
But you have shifted to something that cannot be a one-man team.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
capital intensive.
Yeah.
So, how is that shift treating you?
So I'm not in charge of that, thankfully. I don't think I would be able to handle it. I am only in charge of marketing, communications, branding, and testing. I get to drink a lot of
You're a
coffee.
coffee drinker, a coffee
I have
goer.
recently become a coffee drinker. I think 3 years ago I started drinking coffee. I'm not a chai person, was not a coffee person, but I think I'm really excited for this challenge. As for why I started it, there are two reasons. One is I know fame is very fickle, and this all, I think, most likely will go away in a few years. And somebody new will come up, and then the number of queries that now I get might go down. Secondly, I enjoy the process of making videos. I think that has not changed in the last 7 years. I want to keep making videos, but I don't want it to be my only source of income that I depend upon. So I want to have something to fall back on and make content creation, making videos my hobby again. That's why I keep looking for these opportunities. There's Loop Coffee, there's Scene Screw, my apparel brand, and there are some other ventures also, which I can't disclose at the moment.
So that is the advice that you would give to aspiring content creators, that yes, be that,
Yeah.
but then leverage it for something more sustainable.
I think this advice applies for everything. I mean, if you look at cricketers, if you look at actors, unka career 10 years, 15 years max. Then somebody has a construction business, somebody has an apparel brand, somebody has a perfume brand. So creators bhi isi tarah hi hai. But because creators are very resistant to change and they don't evolve, they cut short their careers. And I think an average creator in Pakistan has a lifespan of maybe 5 years. So in 5 years, they make a lot of money, and then they put that, they invest that into a business or a venture, buy equity, and then maybe that can sustain them.
I guess the last question, and this is a personal question.
Yeah,
I come on TV.
yeah.
I have an Instagram account. I have very little followers. Most of the followers are friends and family, actually. What advice would you give me? Especially given that I have a very boring beat. It's business and it's very technical business.
Yeah, so सबसे पहली बात यह है कि there aren't many finance creators in Pakistan.
I think there's very little scope for it's not even financial investment advice. It's more like why the minimum wage should be increased or decreased or something like that. It's more economics than business, at least my expertise.
Yeah, so I would suggest that you start making videos. You make one video a week. You start from that, and you only make
You're real.
re
Okay.
re and you only make videos for yourself. You don't dumb it down. You don't think about the audience. You're only making videos for yourself. And the one advice that has helped me the most is you make videos or reels that you want to watch, but they don't exist yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you make them. This is what I did when I watched Street Food Asia on Netflix. It was a TV. It was a series that covered Delhi. It covered Bangkok. It covered Beijing, many different Asian cities with street food, but it did not cover Karachi. So I took that personally, and I made multiple food documentaries in Karachi, and they were all very well received. I got a YouTube project because of that, and I got another very, I think, the biggest project of my career because of that. So you make videos for yourself that you would like to watch, but that which does not exist, and then you try to improve with. You try that every you improve with every video, and you improve the writing, editing, production quality, visual storytelling, typography. Yeah, this is a very important point. You can't really improve production quality with every video. You can't really buy a new camera with every video, new lights, but uh, set design, typography, music, sound effects that you use, that can all be improved. And if it's a visually pleasing experience, and you can make videos that you are enjoying yourself, I think it's only a matter of time that you'll find your audience.
Great. That is very interesting. I've heard, be the change that you want to see. This is be the content creator that you want to see. Great. In fact, I don't know whether I have a future as a content creator, but I'm sure there will be many aspiring content creators who will learn a lot from you. Thank you so much for coming to my
Thank
show,
you.
and thank you for your time.
Thank you.